Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. And a college student, only 18 years old, was killed overnight in New York City. Um, I don't know what part of New York City Columbia University is at, but that's where it occurred almost immediately next to campus. She goes to Barnard College. I don't know if that's part of Columbia University or it's right next to it. So, but she was a Barnard College student, and I assume she was a freshman because she's only 18 years old. That's her pictured right there, Tessa Majors, and um, and she was stabbed to death by apparently or allegedly a group of young men. It says that a 16-year-old is in custody and right now, but no arrests have been made. I think they're still seeking 2 to 3 other suspects, or 2 to 3 suspects total. I'm not sure which. I'm not sure if the person who's in custody, the 16-year-old, who, even though an arrest hasn't been made, who's being held for questioning. I don't know if that's part of the 2 or 3, or if there's 2 or 3 in addition to that. But apparently, well, the authorities or the police were called around 5:36 p.m., I believe. So this is right as right as it's getting dark, and she was walking up the steps of Morningside Park at Morningside Drive and 116th West 116th Street, which is immediately adjacent to basically the Columbia University campus. Columbia University Law School's right there, and there's steps behind this. I'll back up in a section and show you. And when she was going down those steps, she was approached by a group of young men to basically, take her property, rob her, and one of them, for whatever reason, stabbed her repeatedly in the stomach. She fled back up the steps to the security booth here. There's normally a security guard in there, I guess a campus security guard, who wasn't there, and he was out doing his rounds. As soon as he returned, he found her lying, bleeding, immediately in this area. And that's actually pictured in this New York Daily, I believe it is, this New York Daily News covering it. And, there's the booth. There's those like sort of oval topped type pillars that run along the sidewalk there and the gate. And he's the one who called the authorities. She was rushed to Mount Sinai Luke Hospital and later died. It's obviously terrible, and being that she's so young, 18 years old, makes it even harder. Her parents are on their way to the school now. She's from Charlottesville, Virginia. The New York Daily News actually spoke to I think her grandmother and or the grandparents. And they can only assume that being that she is from a small town. I don't know if how small Charlottesville, Virginia is, or if that's actually where she grew up. But being from a small town and being a little naive, just not realizing that it's not safe to walk by yourself in New York, in parts of New York City, even though that close to campus, you would think it would be fairly safe. That she should, her grandmother was just saying she shouldn't have been there. And this is actually her grandmother here. I guess being from a smaller town, she was too naive to think about walking alone in New York City, said Martha Burton, the teen's grandmother. She just shouldn't have been there. So, and first year, so she is a freshman. First year Barnard College student was fatally stabbed during a mugging in Morningside Park Wednesday night, just steps away from Columbia University. Police sources said Tessa Majors, 18, was walking down a set of steps to the park on West 116th Street near Morningside Drive when a group of young men confronted her and tried to rob her, sources said. One of the men knifed her repeatedly in the stomach, and the group scattered. Majors staggered back up to the steps to Columbia security guard booth, but the guard was out doing his rounds, sources told the Daily News. When he returned, he found the collapsed teen and called 911. A hat, a butterfly knife, and an uncharged cell phone were found near the body. I'm assuming that's not her cell phone, and that's one of the assailants, one of the suspects, possibly, I would think. And I'm sure that's going to lead directly to somebody once they get past whatever password issues they have to overcome. but I don't know that for sure. Medics rushed the youngster, who had several stab wounds, to Mount Sinai and St. Luke's Hospital, but she couldn't be saved. The teens, Charlottesville, Virginia parents, author and James Madison University professor Inman Majors and Christy Burton were en route to New York City. Her father is a professor at James Madison University and is an author. He wrote a number of books. I never heard of the dude before, Inman Majors, but he looked like I don't know. He didn't look that old himself. I'm sure they're just absolutely destroyed. And I don't know if this is their first child, or I'm not sure if they have other children or not. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So it does say that there's two to three suspects. In an alert to the community, Columbia Public Safety reported that the suspects are 2 or 3 individuals who are thought to have fled south through the park. And according to police, a group of suspects approached Majors. This is the Columbia Dispatch, I believe. Columbia Spectator, excuse me. According to police, a group of suspects approached Majors and demanded her property before stabbing her several times. Officers responded to a 911 call from a security guard at 5:36 p.m. and arrived to find Majors unconscious with multiple stab wounds, the New York Police Department spokesperson said. I mean, at 5:36, she was discovered, or that's when they got the 911 call. It had to be not much after 5 or 5 o'clock. I don't know exactly what time it gets dark, but it's almost light still then, and maybe it's dark by then. I don't know for sure. I can't remember. And so if you look, if I back up just a little bit, this is the steps she was going down. That she was basically, approached and by 2 to 3 or 4 suspects, and one of them lunged and began stabbing her in the stomach several times, and she ran back up, and at that point they all fled as she ran back up the steps to the security booth and collapsed, and the security, which is right around there, and the security guard was out doing his rounds. As soon as he returned, he found her and called 911. And the 16-year-old's in custody, and I guess they're still searching for 2 or 3 other suspects. A 16-year-old has been taken into custody, but there are no formal charges. And Majors was part of this freshman class at Barnard University. That's pretty much the story there. It's pretty terrible. All right, well, that's it, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Actually, it says right there, authorities discovered a woman's hat, a butterfly knife, and an uncharged cell phone near Majors. Officers reportedly followed a trail of blood to the 5th floor apartment at Grant houses less than 10 minutes away from the scene. Inside the home, they found a 16-year-old wearing a green jacket who matched the description of the attacker. The boy has been taken into police custody, but formal charges have not been filed. Barnard President Cian Belock sent a statement to the student body following the tragic incident. So that's the first I saw that. I don't know where that's being reported from because it's not in the New York Daily News. I don't think it's in the Columbia Spectator either. Authorities discovered a woman's hat, a butterfly knife, and an uncharged cell phone near Majors. Officers reportedly followed a trail of blood to a 5th floor apartment at the Grant houses less than 10 minutes away from the scene. I'm assuming that's a 10-minute walk. Inside the home, they found a 16-year-old wearing a green jacket who matched the description of the attacker. So they do have allegedly or possibly somebody that fits the description of the attacker in custody, and there's two to three others still at large. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.